Crazy.
From the world of tech, we step into a whole new world, a whole different world altogether. The brand new year has officially hit, and that means so much to look forward to, especially when it comes to gaming. 2020 has a lot in store for us, from new and returning titles. And our resident gaming expert, Gareth Woods, he sit down to give us the lowdown on what to look forward to in this brand new year. Take a look at this.
Morning Expresso fam, I'm Gareth Woods, your resident gaming guru, and I'm here to talk about all the exciting titles coming up in 2020. We all know 2019 was a massive year for games, and thank goodness for that holiday break I managed to catch up on some of my unplayed backlog. But now, new year, new start, and looking forward to even bigger titles in 2020. So I thought, why not make a list of some of my most anticipated games for 2020? First off, let's talk about Half-Life Alyx. Now, it's been a bit of a meme, all of us waiting for Half-Life 3. It's been, over 10 years been waiting since Half-Life 2. It's in the same Half-Life world that we've all come to love, but this time it's in VR. It looks absolutely phenomenal. We don't know much about it yet, but all I can say is it looks beautiful, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. Next up on the list, Final Fantasy VII Remake. Now, the Final Fantasy franchise has been around for a long time. It's had some good ones, it's had some bad ones, and everyone agrees that Final Fantasy VII is probably the best one that ever came out. Now, they've been talking about doing a remake for so long that people started wondering if it was actually a joke. Finally, it got announced. It's coming out in March of this year. Everyone is very excited. It's a full remake from the ground up. So not just updated graphics for HD consoles, it's a full brand new game. Very excited to see what we have in store. Now, the next one on the list might come as a surprise to many because it's a franchise that not a lot of people knew about when it first came out. The game I'm excited for in 2020 is Ori and the Will of the Wisps. It's a franchise sequel to Ori and the Blind Forest. If you haven't checked it out, the original, it's still available. I highly recommend it. It's an amazing platformer with beautiful, beautiful graphics and a great story. Really do check it out. Next up on the list, I'm a little bit nervous to include because it is a superhero game. And we know that superhero games have a little bit of a checkered history. Some of them have been pretty lousy, to be honest. But we've had some really good ones recently. The Spider-Man game, for example, was a really good take on the whole superhero game genre. This next game is the Marvel Avengers. Now, the movies we all know were blowout successes. They scored billions of dollars, in fact. And so we're hoping, please be good, please be good. Everything we've seen so far looks like it has the potential. So let's just hope that they can pull this one out the bag. Okay, rounding up the list this week is Cyberpunk 2077. Brought to you by a development studio called CD Projekt Red, who brought out a series of games called The Witcher. You might recognize that name from a recent series that's come out. Now, for those of you who don't know, the Witcher series is a phenomenal success. CD Projekt Red really made a name for themselves with that series, and I don't think they can do a foot wrong in my books. They're one of my absolute favorite studios. Cyberpunk 2077, as the name might give you a hint, is set about 50 years in the future, dystopian future, world kind of on the brink, cybernetic enhancements, and it features Keanu Reeves. I mean, what more could I do to sell the game? So I'm really looking forward to that one. That's been my list this week of my most anticipated games. We'll be back next week where I discuss 5 more new games. But please, go on social media, let us know what games you're most excited for in 2020.